Hello everyone, my name is Steven Sudweeks, and today I will be showing you a new mechanic that I made for this tile-based game project. The name of my mechanic is Breakable Walls. I got the inspiration to make this mechanic from games like Bomberman and The Legend of Zelda. Now I'll take a second to show you how this mechanic works in gameplay. So, got the player character, tile here that lets you know that you interact with the bomb to be able to push it. Whenever you interact with it, it'll move the bomb one square, and it will change the material of the bomb. With each time, that material flashes slightly faster than the time before it, to indicate that the bomb is getting closer and closer to exploding. One more tile to let them know they're almost to the wall. And then once the player steps on it, tells them to interact with it one more time. And then bomb explodes. When the bomb explodes, it explodes the breakable wall and then makes a walkable path, so the player is able to continue to progress. So, now that you've seen the gameplay aspect of it, here's how the coding aspect of it works. So if we go to the bomb first, we now have an interact event. This is just the basic interact, checks to see if a player is a neighbor to the bomb, and if so, it then passes that code up to here, where this is the material of the bomb gets set into an array, and then you get that array and you use that to set the material. After that, every single time you interact with the bomb, you're taking that current material index, adding 1 to it, and making that the new material. So that's how you pass through all these different materials here. After that, it then comes over to this section where you're getting the max number of pushes, which this is how many pushes it takes to get the bomb to explode. And you're checking if that max number is less than or equal to 0. If that is true, if the max number of pushes is less than or equal to 0, you pass the code on. And if that is false, you take the max number of pushes, subtract 1 from it, and make that the new number of pushes. And then that comes down here, where you set the bomb able to move, and then if it can enter the next square it's moving to, then it will move to that tile. And then you'll notice over here, this is connected all the way back over to the is tile neighbor. And what that's doing is it's getting the opposite direction from the neighbor tile and telling the move tile to move in that direction. So it moves in the opposite direction from where the player is. Then coming back up to our branch up here with the number of pushes. So once again, if that max number of pushes is less than or equal to 0, that code passes on over here to this section, and this is where the actual exploding of the bomb happens. So first off, the bomb gets set to one more material, has one more material change. This is the fastest flashing one. I give it a slight delay just so it has a little bit of time to do that faster flash. Then I set the visibility of the bomb to off so that you don't see it there in the middle of the explosion. I then play a 2D sound for the explosion and have a particle system that plays the explosion effect. Then after that explosion happens, I guess I forgot to mention down here as well, at the very beginning of event begin play, the bomb gets a reference to the breakable wall, which is then turned into a variable. And that variable is used over here to call the event onBombExplode, which I'll get into that in a moment when we go over to the actual breakable wall blueprint. But that gets called here. Then I give a short delay, and then the tile where the bomb was is then set to can enter so the player can walk through. And then just to kind of show the materials, they're all pretty much the same, just with different colors. But this right here, getting a time node, giving it a sign, and then multiplying it with the emissive, that's what causes the flashing color. That's what causes this to happen, causes it to pulse. And this is just the same for all of them, with the only difference being the sign. With the smaller the number is, the faster the flashing, the bigger the number, the slower it flashes. Then finally we have the breakable wall itself, and this is that event that we were calling over here in the bomb. So when that is called, we come over to here, and at event begin play, we're getting a reference to the bomb. So that way we can use the bomb's tile, that way we can see where the bomb is at and get its tile, and then check to see if that is a neighbor to the wall. And if the bomb is not a neighbor to the wall, it can't blow up the wall. But if it is a neighbor to the wall, we then go to the wall, set it to be tile floor, play an explosion, and then after the explosion, we then update the tile, which is what actually does the transformation into the floor. Yeah, and that is all of the code. Hope you enjoyed it. Thanks.